Lost. Utterly, hopelessly lost. That's how I felt adrift in the middle of my life's journey. The path I thought I was on, the one that felt clear and familiar, had vanished. Instead, I found myself trapped in a dense, dark forest. The tangled branches clouded me. The oppressive darkness choked the air, and fear, a cold serpent, coiled around my heart. How did I even get here? The world I knew had dissolved, leaving me utterly disoriented. Admittedly, when I first cracked open Dante's Inferno, a vivid exploration of the underworld, it felt like a universe away from the experiences of modern immigrants like myself. What is the connection between Dante's harrowing descent and the emotional landscape of the immigrant? One of the contemporary American-Italian poet, Mario Mazziotti Glenn's words currently resonated deeply. The journey of the immigrant often feels like a descent into the unknown, a place where familiar landmarks are gone and new ones haven't yet been established. Just like Dante thrust into the fiery abyss, grappling with the worlds that's both foreign and terrifying, the immigrant encounters a new culture, language, and set of social norms, leaving them feeling disoriented and adrift. It's no wonder Dante relies on Virgil as a guide. Similarly, the immigrants might rely on mentors or community members to navigate this unfamiliar terrain. But who is my Virgil? For each of these migrants who have arrived carrying the veil of their own stories, where is the prophet who can deliver them from the darkness and fear of this hell? The other Italian writer, Teodolinda Barolini's observation, struck a chord as well. The experience of the immigrant echoes the Dantesque experience of the descent into the underworld, a place of loss, disorientation, and a struggle to find a new order. This loss, Barolini refers to, can encompass the immigrant's separation from family, traditions, and even a sense of self in the face of cultural assimilation. It's a feeling I know all too well. Back in Tehran, life had a comforting rhythm. The melody of Farsi filled the air, familiar and warm. But here, in this sprawling metropolis, everything felt foreign. A tangled forest of unfamiliar customs and social codes. The rapid-fire English on the streets sounded like an alien language, its rhythm jarring to my ears. The eyes of people in the street remained a mystery, and even the landscape itself, with its towering buildings and unforgiving winters, seemed to reject me. The wild, rough, and stubborn woods of Dante's description wasn't just a metaphor, it was a tangible reality. Every attempt to navigate this new world for me felt like pushing through a thickest of confusion. It's not just about simple tasks like grocery shopping. It's about the social interactions fraught with uncertainty, the fear of misinterpreting cultural cues, a constant shadow, and perhaps something more complex, something beyond the fears and suffering of being a stranger. That I, like many other migrants, stand right on the borders between two worlds. This begins in limbo, this placelessness where your purpose is never clear to yourself. Which way should you even go? You are immersed between these two worlds. During the day, you strive to immerse yourself in the words of the English language, but at night, your Persian dreams drown you in a strange and lost euphoria. And it is strange when you have to work harder than ever to find yourself, when it is essential and vital to break out of your shell, you sink into your shell more than ever before. You want to close the doors, draw the curtains, and go to sleep until you wake up when you have returned home. but your home is here now. Here? What is this feeling when you need to move forward but you retreat into yourself more than ever before? A strange lethargy and laziness clutches at your throat and suffocates you. You procrastinate until the last minute. Is this unknown madness one of those terrifying demons from Dante's Inferno? A fearsome demon that devours you alive? You fall behind. You regress and the world rushes toward you at a terrifying speed. This is a virus. Idleness in the diaspora. You feel like you are in between worlds. You feel disconnected and unable to focus on the present or your past. I walk down the street in the rain. Countless raindrops fall freely onto the ground, one after another. They seem only to want to lose themselves in this unknown cycle, to become nothing but a stream in which they drown. So what does their authenticity become? The authenticity of all people who have left their homeland, and this displacement has changed them so much that they no longer recognize themselves. It's an erasure, a silent goodbye to recognition, not just from the world but from within. I become the author of my own deletion, refusing to etch this current iteration onto the canvas of this video. When seeking to represent myself, I turn to landscapes and objects. Their voiceless presence a truer reflection than any captured image of this ever-shifting me. The absence speaks volumes. Perhaps, like the raindrops, we find our truest from in letting go. Is existence merely an objective and location-oriented matter? Then what becomes of our memories and emotions? Is existence more of a subjective matter? That is, a mental image of wandering thoughts? Where exactly am I now, or you who are listening to my voice and probably looking at my images? Where exactly does this migrant who is asking himself this question in a new latitude and longitude stand in this world? Scholars like Stuart Hall, whose work delves into cultural identity and diaspora, shed light on their intricate psychological landscape of displacement. Hall explores how displacement can profoundly impact an individual's sense of agency and purpose. The loss of familiar landmarks and the rupture of social ties create a profound disorientation, leaving individuals adrift in an unfamiliar sea. In this state of flux, individuals may find themselves grappling with an intense sense of loss, mourning not just for the physical places left behind, but also for a sense of rootedness and belonging that may never be reclaimed. This loss can be particularly acute for those who are displaced involuntarily, such as refugees fleeing conflict or persecution, as they grapple with the trauma of their past experiences while navigating the uncertainty of their future. What does it mean to belong? Is it rooted in the places we come from, or is it an ember we carry within us glowing wherever we roam? What becomes of our sense of self when the familiar dissolves, when the landscapes of our memories are forever recast? In this state of in-betweenness, I find myself, an Iranian theater practitioner now in Canada, grappling with the shards of my past, attempting to weave a tapestry that gives meaning to my present. Who am I in this new reality where the cultural and the personal bleed into one another. My Inferno is not a place, but a condition. The Inferno resides within a purgatory between two worlds, the past I cherish and the present I navigate. And what of resilience? Where does it well spring from, this quiet strength that blossoms in the face of adversity? Is it born of necessity, a primal instinct that ignites when all else crumbles? Or is it something more intrinsic, a testament to the unyielding human spirit? As Hall posits in his work on cultural identity, displaced individuals often experience a double consciousness, inhabiting multiple cultural identities simultaneously. Torn between the legacy I hold dear and the expectations of my new environment, I may yearn for a sense of belonging that eludes me. This liminal space, the in-betweenness of cultures, can be a crucible of profound emotional upheaval. And this is the story of my Inferno.
کیست که بتواند آتش بر کف دست نهد و با یاد کوه‌های پربرف قفقاز خود را سرگرم کند، یا تیغ تیز گرسنگی را با یاد سفره‌های رنگارنگ کند کند، یا برهنه در برف دیما فرو غلطد و به آفتاب تموز بیندیشد. نه، هیچ کس چنین خطری را به چنان خاطره ای تاب نیاورد، از آنکه خیال خوبی ها درمان بدی ها نیست، بلکه صد چندان بر زشتی آنها می افزاید.